Hi everyone. Today in this class I am going to discuss about the remaining configurational descriptors. That is, we have already studied in the last class the descriptors, configurational descriptors like R and S, then small r and S, then D and L, then RS, etc. we have studied in the last class. So, remaining descriptors, that is small d and L, then cis and trans, E and Z, syn and I, erythro and trio, L and U, S cis and S trans, exo and endo, and P and M. These descriptors can be studied in this class. Okay. Look at this example. This is, as you know, this is cis-2-butene. This is cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene. Cis and trans, you know that what is cis and trans-2-butene. So, here it is cis, the two methyl are on the same side. Here it is trans, the two methyl groups are on the opposite side. So, this is cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene. And this cis and trans, this word, the cis and trans, the word comes from the Latin. Comes from the Latin, and cis meaning on this side of, and trans means over. Okay, over, that's meaning over. And this cis and trans can be used here, but in the case of these type of molecules, the cis and trans nomenclature is not applicable. Okay, and this is like CAB double bond CAB. This is like CAB double bond CAB. Here this AB, both the ligands on the carbon are same. So this is like CAB double bond CAB. So in this type of systems we can use cis and trans. But in the case of this is like CAB double bond CA, for example X. That is, here A are same, but this is one is different. Here it is methyl, here it is bromine. Here both are chlorine, but here it is methyl and bromine. So this is like CAB double bond CAX, and this is like CAB double bond CXY. That is, all the ligands or all the groups are different. So in these type of systems, these cis and trans are it is not easy to apply this cis and trans in this type of nomenclature, in this type of compounds. Okay, cis and trans nomenclature is not applicable for this type of compounds. Here as in the case of R and S, that is R and S nomenclature, it is proposed by Canning, Gold and Prelog, and they together proposed an R and S nomenclature, and the same system of nomenclature, similar type of nomenclature, that is, we have to prioritize the molecule. That type of nomenclature is used here also. That is, in the case of these type of systems, that is CAB double bond CAX or CAB double bond CXY, these type of systems we have to prioritize the molecule, as in the case of similarly what we have done in the case of R and S nomenclature. And after prioritizing, after giving the priority 1 and 2, if the priority 1, for example, if that priority 1 and 2, if that priority 1 are on the same side, we have to give the configuration CQ cis. For example, in the case of this compound, for this carbon, the different groups are methyl and chlorine. So this chlorine will get first priority, this methyl get second priority. Here also, here bromine, here chlorine, here bromine will get first priority, this chlorine will get second priority. Okay, so here it is first priority, here it is first priority. So here the priority 1 are on the opposite side. So this is having SEQ trans, and here chlorine will get first priority, methyl get second priority. Here chlorine and bromine having the atom number high atom number is for bromine. So this will get first priority, this will get second priority. Here 1 are on the same side. So this is SEQ cis. SEQ means sequence. For that word sequence, this is the first three letters, SEQ cis and SEQ trans. And previously, this seq trans and seq cis are used previously. Later, this seq cis and seq trans, it is replaced with E and Z. It is replaced with E and Z. This seq cis is replaced with Z descriptor, and seq trans is replaced with the E descriptor. This E and Z, it comes from the German word zusammen and entlichen. Zusammen and entlichen. Okay, this Z comes from the zusammen and E comes from entlichen. Okay, and this word meaning zusammen means together and entlichen means across. Okay, and this seq cis, it is replaced with Z, and seq trans, it is replaced with E. So if the similar priority are on the same side, this is having the Z descriptor, and if the similar priority are on the opposite side, that molecule having the E nomenclature, or that is having E descriptor. Okay. Similarly, here it is methyl and hydrogen. So this will get higher priority, this will get second priority. Here it is chlorine and bromine. Bromine will get first priority, chlorine will get second priority. Okay. So here this one are on the opposite side, first priority are on the opposite side. So this is having the E configuration. This is having the E configuration. Here methyl get first priority, this is having the second priority, and here it is bromine and chlorine, which will get first priority. Bromine will get first priority and this chlorine will get second priority. So here one are on the same side. So this is having the Z configuration. Okay, E configuration and Z configuration. And as you know, these double bonded compounds, these alkenes are diastereomers, isn't it? They are diastereomers because they are non-superimposable, but they don't have any mirror image relationship. But they are non-superimposable, so they belongs to diastereomers. Okay. Similarly, in the case of these are oximes. Okay, oximes, as you know, oximes, they are obtained by the reaction between carbonyl compounds like aldehydes and ketones. On reaction with hydroxylamine. What is hydroxylamine? NH2OH, hydroxylamine. So aldehydes or ketones on reaction with hydroxylamine, what happens? Elimination of water happens and produces oxime. So these are oxime. This is oxime. This comes from aldehyde because here it is CH5CH. So this oxime comes from aldehyde. This is both are CH3 and CH5, both are R groups. Here it is H, so it comes from aldehyde. This comes from ketone. So this is aldehyde, aldoxime. This is called ketoxime. Okay, this is aldoxime and this is ketoxime. And these oximes, they also show configurational isomerism. And previously, for these oximes, they used the descriptor syn and anti, syn aldoxime, syn ketoxime, syn aldoxime, or anti aldoxime. Okay, that is a descriptor used previously, syn and anti. And here and later it is replaced with E and Z. Okay, later it is replaced with E and Z. And for this aldoxime, this is an aldoxide, it comes from aldehyde. This is an aldoxime. Previously it is called, here if this H and OH are on the same side, that is called syn aldoxide. Okay, for example, this is syn benzaldoxime. This comes from benzaldehyde, so syn benzaldoxime. So this is syn aldoxime. And here this H and OH, if H and OH are on the opposite side, that is called anti aldoxime. This is syn aldoxime, this is anti aldoxime. That is a descriptor used previously. Similarly here, this is methyl and phenyl. Here methyl and phenyl, this OH is syn to the methyl. So this is syn-methyl phenyl ketoxide. Okay, this is originating from a ketone. So this is syn-methyl phenyl ketoxide. Okay, here this OH is anti to methyl. So this is anti-methyl phenyl ketoxide. Anti-methyl phenyl ketoxide. This is syn-methyl phenyl ketoxide. Okay, that is a nomenclature used previously, and now we can use E and Z nomenclature. For these two ligands, this will get first priority, this will get second priority. And for this OH and lone pair, as you know, the lone pair will get least priority. So this will get first priority and this will get second priority. So here this one and first priority are on the opposite side. So this is having the E configuration. This is having the E configuration, and this is having the E configuration. Configuration always we have to put it in brackets. We have to write in italics and we have to put in brackets. Okay. So this is E nomenclature, E configuration, and for this is having the first priority, this is having the second priority, and for this OH and lone pair, this OH will get first priority, and here this first priority are on the same side. So this is having the Z configuration. Okay. Similarly here this phenyl will get first, here methyl second, this OH will get first, lone pair will get second. So here first priority are on the opposite side, they are on the opposite side. So this is having the configuration E. Okay, and here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 1, here it is 2. So first priority are on the same side. So this is having the Z configuration. Okay. So this is E and Z system of nomenclature. E and Z system of nomenclature. And this syn and anti, as I already said, this syn and anti, it is previously used this syn and anti in the case of this oxams. Okay, and this syn and anti not only used in the case of oxams, it can be used in other systems also. For example, look at this system. In this case also we can use, get a picture of this molecule by using the descriptor syn and anti. Okay, that is, suppose this is the first carbon, this is the second carbon, this is the second carbon, this is third carbon, this is fourth and fifth, and this second and third, this is above this methyl is above and this methyl is below. Okay, this is above and this is below. Wavy shows below, this shows, wedge shows above. And this second and third, this 2 and 3, they are anti, they are opposite. And this 3 and 4, what is their relation? They are syn to each other, because they are above the plane. Okay, this 4 and 5, they are anti, they are opposite sides of the plane. Okay, so here also we can use syn and anti. This 2 and 3, with respect to this 2 and 3, we can give the name like 2 and 3 anti, 2 and 3 anti or anti. Okay, 2 and 3 anti, 2 and 3 anti, 3 and 4 syn, 2 and 3 anti, 3 and 4 syn, 4 and 5 anti. Okay, 2 and 3, 2, 3 anti, comma, 2, 3 anti, comma, 3, 4 syn, comma, 4, 5 anti. Okay, this type of nomenclature or this type of description can be used for this type of molecule. So this syn and anti can also used for giving a topographic idea of the molecule. Okay, here you can see systems with more number of double bonds. Okay, and if the number of double bond increases, the number of isomers also will increase. That is, number of isomers or number of diastereomers will increase. That is, if a system with odd number of double bond, that is n is odd, n is equal to odd, that is number of isomers will be equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 plus 2 raised to n minus 1 by 2. Okay, number of isomers if n is odd, n means number of double bonds. If the number of double bond is odd, the number of isomers will be equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 plus 2 raised to n minus 1 by 2. And if n is even, the number of isomers is equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 plus 2 raised to n by 2 minus 1. Okay, this is for this is a shortcut equation for calculating the number of isomers. So if n is odd, that is number of double bond, odd number of double bond is there, the number of isomers will be equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 plus 2 raised to n minus 1 divided by 2. If the number of double bond is even, the number of isomers will be equal to 2 raised to n minus 1 plus 2 raised to n by 2 minus 1. And this is an example for a system with cumulated double bonds. Cumulated double bond means the double bonds are arranged sequentially. Okay, cumulated double bonds. This is a non-cumulated. Here the double bonds are non-cumulated. Okay, non-cumulated double bonds. That is not sequentially ordered. The double bonds. Okay. And here also we can apply the priority rule for these two. This will get first priority, this will get second priority. Here COH will get first priority and this CH3 will second priority. So this is the first priority are on the opposite side. So this is having the configuration E. So this is having the name 2,5-dimethyl. This is second carbon, this is the fifth carbon, 2,5-dimethyl E-hexa, because E is opposite side. Similar priorities are on the opposite side. So this is E-hexa triene dioic acid. Okay, and this is a system with non-cumulated double bond, and here similarly we can give the priority and numbering. This is first carbon, second, third, this is second, third, fourth, carbon fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, seventh carbon. So here the different groups are 6 chloro, 6 position chloro, 7 phenyl, then octatrienoic acid. Here 3 double bonds are there and this is an acid group. So this octatrienoic acid, and in the second position the double bond are syn, or they have the Z nomenclature, because this hydrogen, this priority, similar priority are on the same side. So this is 2Z, and here 4 also Z, similar priorities are on the same side. So 2Z, 4Z, and for the sixth position this is having, for this phenyl this is 1, this is methyl, second priority. For this chlorine and this carbon, the chlorine will get first priority. So here one are opposite side. So this is for this 6 carbon, this is having the E configuration. So this is 6E. So 2Z, 4Z, 6E trienoic acid. Okay, this E and Z system of nomenclature is used in the case of acyclic compounds. Okay, in the case of acyclic compounds or open chain compounds, we can use E and Z system of nomenclature. But in the case of cyclic compounds like this, in the case of cyclic compounds, instead of E and Z, we are using cis and trans system of nomenclature. And this is, look at these examples. This is 2-methyl, 2-methyl cyclohexanol, 2-methyl cyclohexanol, and this is cis, because these two hydrogens are on the same side. These are cis. Okay, 2 hydrogens are on the same side. This is cis isomer. Here the 2 hydrogens are on the opposite side. So these two are trans and these two are cis. Okay, cis and trans, they are diastereomers, and in the cis isomers these two are enantiomers. They are enantiomers. Suppose this is R, this is S, 1R, 2S, and suppose this is 1R, this is 1S, 1S and 2, suppose this is 2R, this is 2S. So these are enantiomers, and these are also enantiomers, and this is cis isomer, this is a trans isomer, and this cis and trans remain as diastereomers. So in this case we are using cis and trans system of nomenclature instead of E and Z. I said E and Z generally used in the case of acyclic or open chain compounds. But here the difficulty arises when the number of substituents increases. Here both are hydrogen, But look here, in this example, here H, only one hydrogen. Actually, this generally we are not considering the hydrogen as a substituent. So here actually methyl and OH, there are only two substituents. But here 2 methyl and OH, 3 substituents are there. 2 methyl and 1 OH, 3 substituents. Here methyl and OH, 2 substituents. So when the number of substituent increases, or when the number of substituent increases more than 2, if there are more than 2 substituents are there, this cis and trans system of nomenclature is difficult. In that case, we are using a Beilstein system of nomenclature. Beilstein, Beilstein, B-E-I-L-S-T-E-I-N, Beilstein system of nomenclature. Okay, Beilstein system of nomenclature. And here what we are doing is, we have to take one group as a reference group, and with respect to that group, we are comparing the other groups. Okay. For example, suppose here, if we are taking this OH, we are taking this OH as a reference group, and with respect to this OH, we are comparing this methyl. Whether this methyl, it is cis or trans to that reference group. Here, if this OH is a reference, with respect to this OH, this is cis. This methyl also, with respect to this OH is cis. And here in this compound, with respect to this OH, this methyl is trans. Here also with respect to this OH, this methyl is trans. And here with respect to this OH, this methyl is cis, and this methyl is trans. Okay, so that is Beilstein system of nomenclature. So here we have to take one group as a reference group, and the reference group have to be selected in such a way that belongs to the lowest locant. Lowest locant means if you are giving the number, this will get first number. Okay, this is first carbon, this is second carbon, this is fourth carbon, fifth one, sixth one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the lowest locant. So the reference group must belongs to the lowest locant, or the group attached to the lowest locant must be selected as the reference group. So here OH is the reference. Here also these are all same similar structures. So OH is a, here also this is first carbon, this is a third carbon, this is a fifth one, third, this is fifth one, third one, fifth one, this is first carbon, third, fifth. Okay, this is the first one, second, third, this is a fourth one. Okay, the number of substituent is more than 2 methyl and OH, here also 2 methyl and OH. So here the number of substituent is 3. Okay, here we have to use cis and trans in such a way that we have to name it according to Beilstein system of nomenclature. For example, in this example, for this compound, we can name it as, here is this methyl cis, this methyl is cis 2 OH, this methyl also cis 2 OH. So it is like cis 3, cis 3, cis 5, then dimethyl, this is methyl, dimethyl, this is cyclohexanol, cyclohexane, R1-ol, cyclohexane R1-ol. That means here the first position ol, first position there is OH. That OH is taken as a reference compound. That is, here this R indicates R1-ol, means that OH, first position OH is taken as a reference, R1-ol. This is cyclohexanol, 3,5-dimethyl. This is actually 3,5-dimethyl cyclohexanol. So 3,5-dimethyl cyclohexanol. So cis 3, cis 5. This methyl and this methyl is cis 2, this OH. So cis 3, cis 5, dimethyl cyclohexane R1-ol. Similarly, here this is for this OH, this methyl is trans, isn't it? This methyl is trans, this also trans. So it is trans 3, trans 5 dimethyl this is trans 3 trans 5 dimethyl cyclohexane R1. The remaining is same as in this case. Okay, so that is this compound. And for last one, for this compound, this methyl, third methyl is cis and this fifth methyl is trans. Therefore, cis 3, third position is cis, and trans 5, fifth position is trans 5, then dimethyl cyclohexane R1 ol. Okay, cis 3 trans 5 dimethyl cyclohexane R1 ol. That is the name of this compound. And for this compound, this is for this is first carbon. For this OH, this fourth methyl is trans. Okay, so trans 4, that fourth position methyl is trans to this OH, and this one methyl also already there in the first position. So this one, for that first methyl, no need to say it is as cis or trans, because it is just attached to this OH. So just one there is a methyl, that is 1 comma, then trans 4 there is 2 methyl, therefore dimethyl cyclohexane remaining as same as this cyclohexane R1 ol. Okay, so 1 trans 4 dimethyl cyclohexane R1 ol. So this is a nomenclature for these type of compounds. So in the case of number of substituents increases, for these type of cyclanes we have to use this Beilstein system of nomenclature. Next one is erythro and trio system of nomenclature. And erythro and trio system of nomenclature is used in the case of compounds with disymmetric ends. In the case of symmetric molecules, this is an example for a symmetric molecule. In the case of symmetric molecules, here the both ends are same. In the case of symmetric molecules, we are using the meso or plus or minus nomenclature. Like in the case of tartaric acid, we studied meso tartaric acid or plus or minus tartaric acid. Okay, so in the case of symmetric molecules, we are using this system meso and plus or minus, or small d and small l. And in the case of compounds with dissymmetric ends or different ends, we are using erythro and trio system of nomenclature. So this erythro and trio nomenclature, it comes from these erythros and trios. And generally this system of nomenclature is recommended in the case of saccharides. Okay, saccharides only this system of nomenclature is recommended. And this is comes from the erythros and trios. And this is an example for these are examples for dissymmetric compounds with different ends: CHO, HOH, HOH, CH2OH. This is erythros and this is D-erythros. OH on the right side, D-erythros. This is L-erythros. This is L-trios and this is D-trios, or minus erythros, plus erythros, minus trios, plus trios. Okay. And here OH are on the same side. So these both have erythro configuration. These OH are on the opposite side. So these two having trio configuration, erythro and trios. These have erythro and these are trio. And for this we cannot use erythro and trio because this is a symmetric molecule, and here it is having meso configuration. We are saying meso, and here this HR on the opposite side, here we are saying it is having plus or minus, that is plus 2,3-dibromobutane or minus 2,3-dibromobutane. Here it is meso 2,3-dibromobutane. Okay, this is meso 2,3-dibromobutane. This is plus or minus enantiomers, plus or minus 2,3-dibromobutane. And what about this compound? This is also not symmetric. So this is having erythro or trio configuration. So in order to find whether it is erythro or trio, we can rearrange. We can rearrange like this. If we interchange, if we make two rearrangements, that will not make any change to the molecule. So if we rearrange, like Cl comes here, CH3 comes here. Okay, here like if we rearrange like this, here comes CH3 and here comes OH. Okay, so now this is in the form of this. Here similar groups are on the same side, so this is having erythro configuration. These are actually same, so this is having the erythro configuration. And so that's about erythro and trio configuration. Okay. And one more thing about this erythro and trio configuration, if you are writing, this is in the Fischer projection manner, if you write it in a zigzag manner, the erythro configuration is one in which the similar groups are on the opposite side. Actually, in the case of Fischer projection, this is Fischer projection. In the case of Fischer projection, erythro isomer is one in which the similar groups are on the same side. Okay, similar groups are on the same side. Here similar groups are on the same side in the case of Fischer projection. And if we write in a zigzag manner, for example, for this molecule, if I am writing the zigzag manner, this is CHO, here hydrogen is already here, this OH comes here, and here hydrogen is already here, and when comes OH, it becomes now like this OH, and here it is CH2OH. Okay, this is the way we are writing zigzag manner. This is OH, CHO, here hydrogen already here, when comes like closing of a book, OH comes above, and here from this side we have to reverse the order. Okay, so hydrogen OH in this way, it comes in this way, so OH comes above. And now actually this is a trio configuration. So in the case of Fischer projection, these three OH are on the opposite sides. But when we are writing in a zigzag manner, what happens? Now this OH is above, here also OH above, that is OH are on the same side. So when we are writing in a zigzag manner, the similar groups are on the same side. Okay. Like this is erythro configuration. In the case of erythro configuration, the similar groups are on the same side. But if we try to write in a zigzag manner, CHO, here suppose this OH, OH here, that is OH is below, and I am in this direction, I am taking this hydrogen in this direction, so hydrogen now becomes above, and here hydrogen is already here, so hydrogen here like this, and OH comes here, this become OH become above. So now this OH become above and this OH become below, they are in the opposite direction, above and below. Here it is CH2OH. So actually in the erythro configuration, the similar groups are on the same side, but when we are writing in a zigzag manner, they are in the opposite direction. Okay. For this type of systems, that is this is 1,3-butadiene, 1,2,3-1,3-butadiene. For this type of system, this cis and trans system of nomenclature is generally not used, as in the case of cis-2-butene. We are discussed before cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene. Okay, here that cis and trans, that they are different with respect to the double bond. With respect to the double bond, the groups are different. Okay, with respect to the double bond, one is cis and one is trans. Here, with respect to the sigma bond, the groups are different. Here, with respect to the sigma bond, these two pi bonds are on the same side. With respect to this sigma bond, these pi bonds are on the opposite side. So, this is having the configuration S cis. This is S cis and this is S trans. That is, S means sigma bond. With respect to this sigma bond, that is S cis. With respect to this sigma bond, that is S, sigma bond, for this sigma bond S. Okay, with respect to this sigma bond, this is S trans. And this S cis and S trans, they are conformational isomers. With respect to this sigma bond, they are changing. That is why it is called conformational isomers. And as you know, these conformational isomers, they are easily interconvertible. Okay, so there is, they can be easily interconverted, and we can reduce this rate of interconversion by making it as a condensed system. That is, if we make it as a condensed system like this, okay, this is now becomes cyclopentadiene. Okay, now it is called condensed S cis. Okay, this is condensed S cis. Similarly, this can also can make it like this. Okay, so now it becomes a condensed S trans system. Okay, and this condensed S cis and condensed S trans, they are not, they cannot easily interconvert each other, and they are stable isomers. And this condensed S cis, for example, this condensed S cis, they are easily participate in reactions like Diels-Alder reaction and produce stable compounds. For example, this is cyclopentadiene. On this diene, it reacts with the dienophile and delocalization of the pi bond happens. Delocalization of the pi bonds happens and produce this compound. One bond comes here, and this is the sigma bond, and one bond comes here, delocalization, and these two products can be produced, and this is called, this is another way I write in different same compound, they are both same, okay, and this is goes here, this double bond and CHO, they are only they are pointing towards the same direction, okay, double bond and CHO, they are pointing on the same direction, this is called endo, and here this double bond, this CHO, they are pointing in different direction, or this is called exo, this is endo and exo, okay, this is also different, they are also different configurational isomers. Last one is P and M system of nomenclature, P, capital P and capital M, P for plus, that P it is for plus and M for minus, P and M system of nomenclature, and this system of nomenclature in the case of molecules with helical chirality, okay, in the case of molecules with helical chirality and axial chirality, that we are not discussed, we are discussed in the before classes only center of chirality, okay, and systems with molecules with helical chirality, we can use this P and M system of nomenclature. For example, hexahelicene, take the example, hexahelicene, this is one, two, three, four. I need six benzene rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the sixth one. Okay. Okay. Here, this is hexahelicene. Here, the first end, the last end, they are in different planes. They are lying in different planes. The middle portion is lying on the plane, and the first portion and the last portion, they are in different planes, and that is why they have chirality, and that type of chirality is called helical chirality. Okay, and here if this direction of this helical chain, if it moves in a clockwise manner, if this helical chain, if it moves in a positive direction, it is having the configuration P, and if I am writing, if I write the mirror image of this molecule, that will have the minus anti-clockwise rotation. This is having the clockwise rotation. If I take the mirror image of this molecule, that is having the counterclockwise rotation, or we can say minus direction. The direction goes in a minus side, and that is why they have the M. The notation or the descriptor used is M. And for this clockwise rotation, it is having the configuration P, and for the anti-clockwise, it is having the configuration M. So, in the case of molecules, we are having the helical chirality. This is an example for hexahelicene. Hexahelicene means there are 6 benzene rings arranged in a helical manner. Okay, hexahelicene, and this is having the P configuration and its mirror image having the M configuration. Okay, so that's all about different descriptors used in stereochemistry. Okay, thank you.